This is Storyboards. At MyCon, we announced a brand new story that was being developed between both you and us. We are making a brand new world that is designed by the community for the community. Now, I just want to give this episode to be a little bit of a explainer of what we've been given so far and what we're able to piece together. Now, keep in mind, not all the ideas that were given to us were used, but in the future, we will find ways to integrate them the best that we can that will make sense. And a lot of these ideas are absolutely amazing. The characters you guys have designed is phenomenal. Now, when we go further into this, I want things to be made such as images, maps of the world. We'll do a little bit more detail with the voicing of the story, so it won't just be my voice voicing it. I want to get people to actually play the characters and kind of make it an audio drama with multiple people. More of an audio play, really, and get really good sound design in here. I hope that this can become something amazing that is worth your time and support. So, without further ado, this is the story of our new world. Upon discovering ancient written languages, the human races of this world have discovered a latent hidden magic or power to the symboled words. Through touching the runes and using the powers of these words, they discovered a well of magic within all intellectual species. Society wrote these words in books and would find ways of utilizing these magics for daily activities. Some persons discovered that becoming one with the languages by scribing it upon their own bodies, the power would become more potent. Tattoos became a popular way of sourcing these powers when separated from civilizations, and for the more intense journeys or missions, though after many uses the tattoos would begin to fade, requiring renewals. Those who dedicated themselves to these tattoo powers were those dedicated to either protecting society or dominating it. After extended use and renewing of these tattooed runes, many individuals were stricken with illness. Researchers discovered a tainting of the body's inner energy when the using of these runes occurred. The world's natural magics wouldn't just be manipulated by these species, but absorbed, slowly enveloping their bodies, separating their structures back into their natural chemicals and elements. Tattooing became a more extreme practice, used by the few who dared the risk of poisoning themselves. Simplistic ways of using these runes, such as inscribing upon items or weapons, came about creating different factions or styles of magic. Now, let's talk about the cities. So far, we only have 2 cities that have been designed, but that is up to you guys to make more for us to play with. Now, we want you to give us full details on how you want the city ran, what kind of inspiration they took from the magic that has been discovered, and how they interact with the wildlife around them. So, for the first 2 cities, we have the Twin Ports of Sicilian. The 2 port cities on the east and west side of the mountain range, Cecil and Ilion, named after the first king and queen of the current kingdom. First is the port of Cecil. This town is close to the ocean front and resides on the west side of the mountain range. They are focused on the scientific discovery and use of runes to better the lives and technology of the city-state. Originally two towns on opposite sides of the river that flowed from the mined mountains, they grew to become one port city that uses the river as its main mode of trade with other civilizations. It learned of the magical runes once hearing that the city Ilion, on the opposite side of the mountain range, found the entrance to the old civilizations under the mountain. They began to dig into their side of the range and found that the further they dug, the more they discovered of the ancient people and their magical language. They opened the renowned arcology and began to imbue the runes into special items to enhance daily living, such as transportation for the blossoming population that the mines and arcology attracted. The people of the town of Cecil were decided by class, a class that was decided by how literate a person was within the rune language. Now, if you were very literate, you would tend to have the higher paying jobs within the arcology. If you weren't, you were most likely working within the mines itself, enough to get by and live mainly on the outskirt, poorer side of the town. And as technology bloomed, so did their culture. It advanced to a more Victorian era if we were to compare it to anything within our own time period. So as you can see within this world, time isn't what advanced them, as it was for us. For them, it was just the runes and the different ways of using it. So there isn't one specific time era meant for the story. It's all dependent on the civilizations and the people within it. And as an example for another time era, we go to the second city, located on the east side of the mountain range. The port of Ilion. Upon discovering the entrances to the ruins, Ilion adopted the old ways depicted within the runes and pictures carved on the walls, becoming a religious community, showing high respect for the power that came with the old writ. Located on the inland side of the mountain range, Ilion uses the mirroring river system to its sister city to provide other civilizations with its trades and wares made from the traditions garnered from the use and discovery of the ancient runes within the mountain. They deny using the runes in such impersonal designs as the imbued technology originating from Cecil, electing to remain in a traditional lifestyle and simplistic buildings that fit almost naturally within the forests that surround it. The city of Ilion is very religion-focused. They're very respectful of nature, the power of the runes, and the traditions that they have gained, that they remain in a time that is more medieval than anything else within the land, becoming a very prosperous and happy people who are stubbornly set in their medieval ways. The kinds of people you would find here are more traditional magicians or wizards. They would set up little schools where they would train people with the runes in a more natural setting, reading them from books or pages instead of imbuing them on technology or on weaponry. They would find ways to integrate it into their lives in a more natural capacity. Many would say that the magic that came from the port of Ilion were the most potent forms of the magic found in the land because of the ways it was used. Though the tattooing originated from this side of the mountain, it was also quickly banished as soon as it was discovered how dangerous it was to the body. Now that we're familiar with the two beginning cities within the world, let's expand upon it. We do have some characters that were designed, but we're going to save that until they're a little bit more flushed out. We have some stories prepared and written about some of them, but since these characters are part of the first initial story happening within the world and involving these two cities, we want to be a little bit more prepared with all of them together. So, if you guys have any ideas for additional lands or cities or any civilization within this world, please help us with it. After you listen to this, go to our Facebook page where you will be able to vote and also cast your ideas down for what you want from this world. This is a story made by you guys. We take the characters, the lands, everything that you have made, and we combine it and make it flow and work together. So this is kind of the relationship between an editor and an author. Normally, if you were to send a book in to an editor, they would read it through, find where it doesn't flow or how it doesn't work, and then send suggestions back on how it would work or maybe possibly a way that it would flow a bit better. So this is kind of the relationship we want to have, just, not as much as people think. There's not as much animosity between editors and writers as a lot of people assume. So we just want you guys to know that we're not destroying your ideas. We're simply taking what you guys want to see from this world and making sure it connects. And so, guys, this is a lot of fun to do, and I hope you guys enjoy doing it. Throw in your ideas. We'll set up a forum. We'll set up more things that you guys will get to vote on, options that you guys get to choose. So stay tuned to our Facebook page for that. Also, just to cap this out, I want to let you guys know of some amazing stuff happening. You guys remember that writing contest that we were talking about a few episodes ago? Well, it's back, and we wanted to explain a little bit more about it. So what happened was we prepared this writing competition where people would be able to turn in things to the North Logan City Library to be judged and then be awarded prizes. Now, we realized we were kind of rushing it a bit and we didn't have all of our ducks in a row, our chicken in the pen, we needed more things to have for this. We wanted to be a bit more prepared. So we pushed it back to January 31st for the due date to turn in your writings. So get prepared, write a short story. This is for youth from grade 6 to grade 12. And it will be split up into categories depending on age and then judged together. So this is a short story writing competition, 2,000 word maximum, 12-point font, double spaced. So be prepared, get those written, and send them in. And let me tell you a few cool things that we've been able to garner from expanding the time for this. So when the event comes and the winners are announced, you will have the opportunity to come receive your prizes, meet Tyler Whitesides, the author of the Janitor series, who will then talk to you guys about his own writing style and how he got into writing himself. We have also set up a secondary category based on nonfiction story writing. So this is more like a real-life story, a experience you had in the same kind of formatting, 2,000 words, but the winner of that category will be published in the Herald Journal. Now that's awesome. Both winners in either category, first place prizes, will receive a Chromebook laptop. That is an amazing prize. We were able to get the funding and get the prizes to be even more amazing just for you guys, for you listeners, and for anybody within Cache Valley. So, get writing, get those stories prepared by January 31st. We will let you know where to turn it in. We're going to have a link on the North Logan City Library page for a form where you get to turn it in, or you can mail it to them. So keep your eyes and ears open and get ready to win some awesome prizes and write some amazing stories. Thanks, guys. We'll see ya next time.